Welcome back, students. The topic for today's discussion is iterative statements. So, in order to carry out a repetitive task or in order to do a set of statements or in order to carry out a set of statements uh, to work repeatedly, either based on condition or on a given number of times, here Python provides two types of uh, iterative or looping statements. One is conditional loop, wherein we will be using a syntax called as while, whereas for counting we will be using counting loop, you will be using for. You do have two types. Again, I repeat, in iterative statements you have two types in Python. One is while, which is used for condition based, and the other one is for, which is used for executing a set of statements, given number of times. These are the two statements which we are going to see in Python. So range. Before moving on to the for loop, first of all, we should see a function called as a range. Here, a range might take three parameters, namely lower limit, upper limit, step value. So let us see with examples. And here, kindly note all the values which is inside the range should be only integers. It cannot be float. So range of 5. So range of 5 means the values that are generated. The values that are generated are, it starts from the lower limit, that is a 0 to n minus 1. Here the n value is 5. So 0 to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the 5 values that are generated if I pass 5 as a parameter in the function range. Instead of passing a single parameter, if I am trying to pass two parameters, that is if I am trying to give lower limit and upper limit, that is 3, 6, an example. It starts with the lower limit, printing the lower limit, namely the values generated are 3, 4 and 5. Why? Because 6 minus 1, that is upper limit minus 1, which is 3, 4, 5. And in these two instances, we have not given the third one called as step value. When step value is not given, it is getting incremented by 1. Again, I repeat, when step value is not given, it is getting incremented by 1. In the third example, a range of 3, 9, 2. Here I have provided the lower limit, upper limit, as well as the increment, that is the step value. First value is 3, then it gets incremented by 2, then 5 comes, then 7. After 7 plus 2 is 9. The loop is going to get executed only till 8. So 7 only is the condition matches. So the loop is going to get executed only 3 times when I give 3, 9, 2. So on the contrary, if the if the lower limit is a higher value, let us take the fourth example. If the lower limit is the higher value and the upper limit is a smaller value, that is 7, 2. Here the lower limit is 7, upper limit is 2. Necessarily, I have to give the step value here. When you want to come from a higher number to a lower number inside the range function, I have to provide the step value without fail. Again, I repeat, if I want to move from a lower value to a higher value, even if you are not giving a step value, it is not a problem. In the previous 3 instances, in 2 instances, that is in example 2, you are moving from a lower limit to upper limit and you have not given the step value, it is not a problem. Whereas here, 7, 2, minus 1. So it starts from the lower limit 7, goes till 1. 7, 6, 5, 4. Sorry. Since it is 2 now, it is going to stop still 3, the before value. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. The loop will get executed only 5 times. All right. If it is 10, comma 1, comma minus 2, it is 10, comma 1, comma minus 2 now. 10 will get printed. It gets decremented by 2. 8. Again, it gets decremented by 2, which is 6. Again, it is getting decremented by 2. 4. Again, it is getting decremented by 2. 2. The lower limit they have, that is the upper limit they have given is 1. 2 is before 1, so it stops there. The loop gets executed only 5 times. So now let us move on to the for loop. Again, for loop is meant for executing the set of statements countable number of times. Again, I repeat, for loop is meant for executing the set of statements countable number of times. Here, for variable. The syntax goes this way, for variable. The variable here in the example is I. For is a keyword in range. This is a keyword in range. The syntax whatever we are given. They are providing a number in the first syntax, 5. What is the statement I am having now? The statement I have is print I. This is what we have seen in the previous range function. The values generated are, here I value is 5. So what would be the value generated? The value generated would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But here in this for loop example, the answer 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will come row wise. In one row, you will be finding only one value. First row, you will be finding 0. Second row, you will be finding 1. Third row, 2. Fourth row, 3. And fifth row, 4. That's it. And you do have another syntax for variable in range. I can provide the upper limit, lower limit, and step value. I can provide the upper limit, lower limit, and the step value here. If the step value is not provided, here I have given for I in range 1, 5. I have not given the step value. I am moving from a lower value to a higher value. So I value ranges from 1 to 4. And the same values, namely 1, 2, 3, 4, will get printed line by line. Whereas here in the first output, it starts with 0, goes till n minus 1, that is 0 to 4. Here it is 1 to 4, since the upper limit is 5. With respect to the third example, in for variable, here the variable is I. Normally the index variable we used to use. For I in, it is not range here. We are providing the sequence. I am taking a list here, 1, 3, 5. When I try to print IA, and if I am trying to print I star I prints 1, 3, 5. Whereas I star I prints 1, 9, and 25. In the second example, with respect to this syntax, for I in apple, ball, cat, if I try to print I in I, it will try to print apple, ball, cat in one row. The first row you will be finding apple, second row you will be finding ball, third row you will be finding cat. So let us see these things via execution. The first example is for I in a range of 5. Here colon should come. Print I. If I run the code, I'm going to have the output as 0. It starts from 0, ends with this one. Instead, if I give like this, end equal to the space, you are going to have the output in the same line. Here for I in range, I am giving only the one value, right? I have not given the lower limit. I have not given the increment, that is a step value. Now let us take another example. For I in a range, here 1 comma 5. This is what we have seen in the example. Print I am giving end equal to space. I want to see the output in a single line. I will be having the output as 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a doubt. Sir, if I provide the value as 1 here, that is a step value as 1 here, whether there will be any effect, whether there will be any change in the output. No, you will not be having any change in the output. But when I try to change the step value as 2, you will be having only 2 values, namely 1 and 3. It stops till 4. It gets incremented by 2. 1 and 3 are the values you are going to get in a single row. All right. Then, with respect to the third type of statement, for I in, we are taking a list 1, 3, 5. I am trying to print I, as well as I am trying to print I star I. Here indentation is a must. When I try to run this code, my answer would be 1139525. So you will be having 6 output. See here 1139525. So it prints one below the other. First time I value takes the value 1. It prints I, that is for the for loop which is present in line number 1. The set of statements that are going to get executed repeatedly are 2 and 3. Again, I repeat, for the statement which is present in line number 1, the set of repetitive statements which are going to get executed are line number 2 and 3. If I want to have the same thing in a single line, I can write like this: I star I, then I am trying to give a space, then I am trying to write I star I star. I am trying to print the cube numbers, number, square number, and its cube number. This comes like this. Here, the first column denotes the original numbers 135, which is present in the list. The second column denotes its square numbers, the list square numbers. The third column denotes the list cube numbers. So, with respect to another example, let us move on to one more example which you have seen in the slide. That is for I in, we have used apple ball, and then cat. Again, colon is a must. Print I. Again, print I. If I try to print this one, let us check. Apple, ball, cat will come. First row you will be having apple. Second row you will be having ball. Third row you will be having cat. This is how it is getting printed. All right. This is with respect to sequence. So with this one, we will try to move on to the while loop. See, while loop is based on condition. In the second slide itself, we have clearly said that conditional based loop you are going to use while. Let us check this one. While you are going to give a condition, till the condition is true, the statements present inside the while loop is going to get executed repeatedly. Again, I repeat, while condition. Till the condition is true, the statement that are present inside the while loop, that is the block of statements that are present inside the while loop, is going to get executed repeatedly. Here they have given two examples. They are trying to give the initial value of n as 1, while n less than 4, they are trying to print the square number. Here, if I am not giving n equal to n plus 1, if I am not giving the increment value, the while loop will not get, or what can we say, it will run infinite number of times. So the condition will not come to an end. The condition will be always true. Why? Because I have supplied initial value of n as 1. Every time when it checks the condition 1 less than 4, 1 less than 4, 1 less than 4, and hence it will not come to a n statement when n is equal to n plus 1 statement is not given. This is what I am trying to say. It as an infinite loop in the second example. I am trying to print only the square number. Always it will print the value as 1. All right. So let us check. But this is not the purpose of while loop. So while loop has one more purpose. Let us see that with an example. Here while, see, initially I value they have given it as 1, while I should have definitely I should have a condition here. I less than 4, they are trying to print I star I, and they are incrementing I value by 1. These are the two statements which are treated as a block in while. I'm going to have 1, 4, and 9 as the answer. All right. So now let us try to convert. Let us try to convert this code. Let me copy this one. Into now I am trying to take I want to convert the given for loop into while loop. Kindly remember, for loop programs can be converted to while loop and vice versa is always not possible. Vice versa is not always possible. It is possible, but not all instances. All programs which are done in while cannot be easily converted to while. So here, as we know, range of 5, the values for range of 5, what would be the range of values, sir? It starts with the initial value, ends with the 4. It starts with the initial value and ends with the 4. This we have to remember so as to convert the given statement to while. Now I am taking the I value as 0. Here, while I can use I less than or equal to 4, I can use, or I can use I less than 5. Anyhow, it is going to get executed till 4, that is n minus 1. I can use this condition. I have to print this I value end equal to, I am giving a space. Necessarily, I have not given the initial value as well as the step value in for, whereas for a while statement, these are compulsory. Here, I plus equal to 1. So, one single for statement, if I am trying to convert to while, I require 3 things. I require the initial value. Again, I repeat and let me show it in command statement. This is initial value. Initial value is required. This is my first step. Then comes my condition part, and then comes my step value as the third one. This is how I can reconvert, and this is going to generate the same answer. See, it has generated the same answer. Now let us take the second example. Third example, anyhow, we are going to see for loop. Third example, anyhow, we are going to see in list manipulation. So we are not going to touch that one. So let us take the second example. Now let us rework the second example. Or again, let us try to convert this one towards here. All the 3 things are given. It will be easier for me. I can convert this one with ease. The initial value they are given as 1. That is, in the previous example, I have taken it as 0 since it starts with 0. Here it starts with 1. So what is the condition? While I less than or equal to 4. If you are not sure, when they are giving the values, write like this. Write the upper limit as it is. In the previous case also, I can write the same thing. Less than 5. You can remove the equal to statement. When you are giving equal to, now one value less. If you are giving less than symbol, now the exact value which is given there. So what I am trying to print the I value, comma, end equal to space. So this is what that has been given. And one more step, I have to use it, I plus equal to 1. The third, it is not 1. Kindly note, in the previous example, it is 1. Here they have given it as 2. Again, all the 3 statements. See, I copy it so that we can quickly move on to another example in the meantime. So this is my first step. Second step is the condition part. Second step is the condition part. And this one, the third one, is a step value. So when you run this code now, it will print 1 and why it is showing initial value. I don't think now this will be an error. Let me throw it apart so that this command statement, if I show like this, I think now I'll be able to execute. Again, you see indentation error. It is not with respect to the command statement. See here, the problem is here. It should start here. This is what the error states. I hope now this will get executed perfectly. See, this is what the error is. Indentation error. Even if I have the print statement like this, as well as the increment step value like this will also throw indentation error. See, print statement, indentation error, expected an indented block. So I have to give a tab so that it moves like this. Again, if you run, you will be having the output. So far we have seen, while we have seen, and then one more thing we have to see, right? That is, if you want to print the values 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When I want to print these things in reverse order using while, my initial value here is 5. How I'm going to give the condition? Condition should be while I greater than or equal to 1. Either I should be giving like this, or if I use greater than 0, what I am trying to do? I am trying to print the I value end equal to space. Then I am trying to, I have to decrement the value minus equal to 1. Now it will print the same result. We haven't checked this one with for. Again, let us redo it for also. The same example using for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here for I in a range 5 comma 0 comma minus 1. Here, since I said when I am moving from a higher value to a lower value, step value is a must. Excuse me. Print I comma end equal to the space. Let us also check what if we have not provided the step value, whether it is working fine or will it give or will it throw an error. See, I am trying to reduce the step value. The loop is not at all getting executed. If I give like this, that is decrease the step value, it is going to give me the answer perfectly. Minus 1 if I give 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If I give minus 2, 5, 3 and then 1. Why? Because 0 is the ending value. See, you are having the 3 outputs. Now let us move on to the next example, namely jump statement. When I want to, here we are going to discuss break and continue statement. The break statement enables a program to skip a part of a code. If I don't want to execute a set of steps, or if I want to come out of a loop, I will be using the statement called as break. Whereas continue, the continue statement forces the next iteration of the loop to take place. See, here we are going to introduce, or I am going to introduce two words, namely one is break, the other one is continue. Let us take the example and let us try to analyze what this break statement and as well as continue statement does. So let us take this one here. Now we are going to see, they are saying that break statement, it breaks the loop. We are going to see an example for break. For I in a range of 1 comma 11, they are providing a condition if I mod 3 double equal to 0, they are providing the break. Actually the loop will get executed 10 times. If the condition is true, it will not get executed 10 times. It will come out once the condition is satisfied. Actually, the loop will get executed how many times? 10 times. How I'm saying? The starting value is 1, the ending value is 11. So the starting value is 1 and the ending value is 11. 1 to 10, it is going to get executed. Since the condition is getting satisfied at one instance, at the first instance itself, it comes out of the loop and it is not going to get executed the remaining number of times. This is what we are going to see in this example. Else, I should have a colon. I am trying to print what are the values. Here, I value starts with 1. Everyone knows that I value starts with 1. It is getting incremented by 1. 1 modulus 3 condition is false. So 1 gets printed. Similarly, 2 modulus 3 condition is false. 2 gets printed. Whereas the first condition which is going to get satisfied in if is 3. 3 modulus 3, I am going to have the answer as 0. this condition is true. So I will be having the answer as only 1 and 2. The remaining statements, the remaining iterations, namely 3 to 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The remaining 8 iterations will not get executed. Now let us check and reconfirm the output. Here it is 1 and 2. Now let me try to place the continue statement in the place of break. These two are jump statements. You are trying to jump to some other part of the code. Here, instead of break, I try to give continue. It forces for the next iteration. Now let us check. When the condition is satisfied, what it does. Here, the condition which is getting satisfied are 3 will get satisfied. Similarly, 6 modulus 3 will also get satisfied. Similarly, 9 modulus 3 will also get satisfied. Since here they are using the continue statement, it skips these iterations, namely 3, 6, and 9. Now let us run this code and let us confirm. Whenever the condition is satisfied, it forces for the next iteration. I value is forced to get incremented to 4. So 4 modulus 3 is not equal to 0. It is printed. Similarly, with respect to 6, the condition is satisfied. Continue statement forces for the next iteration, which is 5. 5 modulus 3, 7, which is not equal to 0. So 7 is printed. Similarly, this one, 9 modulus 3 is 0. It forces to get incremented the I value by 1 here. So it is 10 there. Now let me try to change the value of I, the upper limit, as 12. Let me try to give it as 2. Let me try to give it as 2 with respect to continue, and let us check what will be the output. What will be the output? Will 3 get printed? 3 will not get printed. Let us check. So 3 gets, the condition is true. So I value is forced to become on the 5. So again, 5 modulus 3 is not equal to 0. It prints 5 value. 7 plus 2, 9. There 9 modulus 3. Again, I repeat, 9 modulus 3 is equal to 0. It forces for the next I value, which is 11, and it is getting printed. I hope this for what is that? This break and continue statement is clear as of now. Let us move on to the loop with else statement. See, loop can also have else statement at instances. We use this statement less frequently. So the usage of this particular statement is, we can say, negligible. That is, out of 100%, 99% of the times we will not be using this syntax. Again, let us check. See, when the loop is getting terminated, the else part gets printed. When the loop is getting terminated, the else part is getting printed. Let us check this one with the code itself. Here they have given how this one for, sorry, it should be here. For I in range 10, 1, they have not given what? The step value. They are moving from a higher value to a lower value. They have not given the step value in the loop, exiting the loop. In the loop, this is what they are trying to print. When the condition fails after executing certain times, they are trying to provide the else statement. This else is for they are trying to print exiting the loop. See, you will be having exiting the loop. Why? Because the condition is failed. So it exits the loop. Here instead, if I have given -1, if I have given -1, it starts from 10. It starts from 10, and then I can show you this one also, comma I. It starts with a 10 and ends when I value is 2, and then prints the last statement. Let us run this code also. In the loop, when I value is 10, it gets executed till 2. Once it comes out of the for loop, now it is saying that exiting the loop. I hope this is clear. In the previous instance, the initial condition itself is failed. It is printing exiting the loop. Whereas here, the condition is true. As long as the condition is true, till starting from here, that is I value is 10. 1 minute. The highlighted statement, the statement is true. So it is inside for. So it has executed how many number of times? 9 times are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 times. And then it prints exiting the loop. Now, let us move on to the while example. While else. Here, let us check this one also. While, as I said, when the condition is true only, the statement inside while is going to get executed inside the loop. Whereas, kindly note the indentation also, while. So here this bracket is not necessary. Even though if you provide the bracket also, it is not a problem. But print, I am trying to use the statement exiting the loop, right? See here, exiting the loop. Why? Because initially itself the condition failed. 3 is greater than 4. Even if I try to give 4 is greater than 4, no. If I try to provide 5, I'll be having two output. Let us check. Why? What is the problem? Always the condition is true, and hence it prints like this. So this is what so we have to stop that particular code, and hence why? Because the condition is always true there. The condition is always true there. We cannot do this one. It will execute infinite number of times. This is what the problem with respect to that particular code. Now moving on to the last one, nested loops. A loop within inner loop is called as a nested loop. A loop within inner loop, we call it as a nested loop, right? Here in one for loop, for I in range, I am having an inner loop as j. We are trying to print this particular pattern. Here it should be I plus 1. Let me try to explain how this problem works. Now this is inner loops. For I in a range, it is 1 comma. If I'm going to have 5 rows, I have to give the value as 6. So let me try to generalize this one. If I'm going to have 5 rows, I should be giving it as n plus 1. So only it starts with 1 and ends with 5. So here the outer loop denotes, this is my outer loop. The outer loop denotes the row. Inside it, I'm going to have one more loop for I in a range 1 comma I plus 1. Let me check let me show you and let me explain this one also. This is the inner loop. And this denotes the column, number of columns. Here it denotes the number of rows, whereas this denotes the number of columns. Here we are trying to print, let me try to explain with the j. End equal to a space. I am trying to have a print statement. This is a blank line after each row. It moves to the new line after each row. It leaves a line blank. Now let us check how this code works and let me explain it. See here, it prints a triangle format. See, when you see the output, first row has, I want 5 rows. First row has a single value. Second row has 2 values. Third row has 3 values. Fourth row has 4 values. And fifth row has 5 values. So how to write? The number of columns here is entirely dependent on the row. First row na 1 column. Second row na 2 column. Third row, I am mentioning 3. So the number of columns is 3. If I'm mentioning 5, the number of columns will be 5. It is entirely dependent on the row. Hence, I am giving the upper limit of the second loop as I plus 1. When I value is 1, j value ranges from 1 comma 2. If it is 1 comma 2, j value is going to get executed only once. I think I am clear. If, let me explain it here also. A range of 1 comma 2. What is the value generated? Now the value generated, that is the value of j would be only 1. Since the upper limit is 2, it will not go beyond 1. This is for first row. If the value of the upper limit is 3, j value is going to get executed 2 times, 1 and 2. Here, this 3 denotes the upper limit, that is the row value. The row value. Second row, I am going to have 2 columns. Third row, I'm going to have 3 columns. So the upper limit of j is entirely dependent on the n value. That is the row value, not n value, the row value. Every time the row getting incremented, so you are going to have an extra column there. So why this blank? Once this line is responsible for printing the values present in one particular row. The line number 5 is responsible for printing, excuse me, it is, this line is responsible for printing what? Values in the specified row. Why specified? If it is when first row it is going to print 1, second row it is going to print 1 2, third row it is 1 2 3. I am trying to print the j value. Instead, if I try to change j as I here, even then first row is going to have 1 value, second row is going to have 2 values. Instead of the j value, now since I have printed the I value, my output is getting changed like this. I am printing the row value. Second row I am having 2 values, third row I am having 3 values, fourth row I am having 4 values, and fifth row I will be having 5 values. All right. I hope this inner loop is also clear. Thank you for your patience.